about what I do know about this about life is that every dog barking their own yard. You know what I mean?
Hmm. How do you feel like? How do you feel about Team Combat League so far for season two, and how do you feel like you're performing?
Well, just say I've only had my one performance. It wasn't a great performer. Wasn't a great performance on my end, but it's a long season. It has time. Give each fight is important. There's only one round, so it might take a little time to get into like perfect form. But we're back working, we back motivated, and I like having something to look forward to, even if it's one round. I like being able to look forward to some semblance of competition. And I mean, this season I do like that they are allowing us to travel a bit because the aspect of, I like that they have a crowd too. The aspect of having a crowd there, um, that helps a bit too. Even if you're at home or even if you're getting booed, it can fire you up. Like woos or boos. So I like the way it's been going as of right now. Um, I don't mind getting on the road to fight and things like that. So I mean, it's a spectator sport. I like what's going on with it right now.
Now, Mike, you've been on world level. I'm going to say what for the past couple of years, right? Fighting
Yeah.
the 10 rounders. How much of adjustment it is for you to have to get your shit off in this one round? And in a lot of people's minds, they thinking that, y'all just facing just guys, journeymen. But the reality is, there's a lot of former world champions, world title challengers, guys who were ranked in the top 15.
Yeah. I mean, it's an adjustment. It's for sure an adjustment. Even in like the first season, the people that got off and got off to a great start did their best and really shined were amateurs turning pro or pros like with like single digits still fighting 4 and 6 rounders. So it does take an adjustment. Even like how you might warm up is a little different. You don't got I don't think we think especially you got 1 or 2 rounds. You ain't really got to worry about overdoing it during the warm up just because like you want it to feel like round 3, round 4 by the time you actually get into the ring. And it's also an adjustment having to sit like even with my round with Rashidi. I went dead last. He got 2 rounds in. I went dead last for 1 round. He's already fired up. Boston's yelling, you know, and that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot to fight against. But you know, as experience comes on, we'll make the adjustments as the season goes on. I'll look to impress a little more each time.
Team Combat League has been one of my guilty pleasures. That and Pro Box, right?
Yeah,
There's some things about it I love, and there's some things about it I just don't like, right? Well, the first thing is y'all sitting. I hate the fact that some guys will literally sit an hour and only get to warm up for what 5 minutes on the side and then come in the ring cold.
yeah. That ain't good. That ain't good. That ain't good for me, man. I like, you know, I want to be in there. So like, I don't know how many rounds I'll have on the second. I would like to have two, and I would like to be. I mean, ideally, I'd like to be like somewhere in the launch rounds. At least if I get in the launch round, get my shit off, and then I'll come back for the money rounds if there's availability for it. But my bad. Uh, if there's availability, if they want me in the money round, but I would do better in the money round if I can get around in I can get around it first. But it's a team thing. You do what's required of you when the time comes. I don't like sitting around. I'm with you on that, but I mean it's like I try to stand up, stay loose, and the guy said, "Man, I gotta sit, I gotta sit, I gotta sit," and I mean, you know, excuse can't be made, man. You just gotta make the adjustments. You gotta make the adjustments, and I mean, in that situation, the only way to make adjustments, you got to, be in it a little more. This is still only the second season. I did less than half of the first season, so we just had to kind of, it's still a learning curve for me. And pro box is one of my favorite things too, Mill. So we that's a shared guilty pleasure between us. I love watching the fights on a Wednesday night. I get home, I like the broadcast team of Chris Algieri and Paulie Minot. There's a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, between those two. And Mike Goldberg, he's he came over from MMA, but he has that good commentator voice. You know what I mean?
Yo, so Mike, I ain't gonna hold you. Me and my homies, every week we go on Box Rack, and I didn't know you could initially do this. Go on Box Rack, and then we literally look at the matchups for Team Combat League.
Yeah.
And so, like, probably like 2 weeks ago, we see you versus Rashidi Ellis. Now, before I had been watching, I would either go to the arena or I'd been watching on YouTube.
Right.
That fight made me buy the subscription because that is a fight that I want to see in real life. And we were talking about it all throughout the week in the gyms in Philly. Like, yo, Mike Fox, Rashidi Ellis. And then we hearing that Nair Albright, Chris Colbert. Those are fights that, shit, if somebody rolled them out on the card, oh, yeah, I'm paying for that.
Nah, I feel you. Like, shoot, would you? I know you pay for that. I know you especially kind of a hardcore. But then you also got like, and then I mean, like you said, back to Pro Box. Who wouldn't want to see that lineup in the Pro Box? Ellison Fox versus Albright and Colbert. Like, that's a nice. I feel like that's a nice card to sit down and watch. And then I mean, just for a bonus, you know what I'm saying? Just for a little added. This is a little added drama, added narrative. Maybe you can get Ronald Ellis and Alontes Fox on the card as well. You know what I mean?
Honestly, bro, that sounds like the undercard to a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. Like I mean, that was the one thing I knew. I said, man, this first fight of the year, and this Rashidi Ellis, this one is gonna have to be one I'm gonna have to I'm gonna either work for or he gonna get me. We got a round, but and it's more in his favor, but it's not impossible. But I mean, we get a Pro Box, if Pro Box was to give us a call, you wouldn't get a no on my end. I don't think you get a no on his end, but I can only speak for myself. I would definitely be like, yeah, how many rounds? 10 rounds, Ellis? Yeah, let's get that. Let's do that.
That was one of the most intriguing fights, not only in Team Combat League, but just period.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And you tell me how you felt it went, because he got the decision, kind of jumped on you early.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like, I mean, people ask, like, man, he's, put the competitiveness nature aside and everything. When I heard he was when I heard he was joining the league, I said, that man is made for he's made for this type of thing. This is he can become a star. Well, he's a great fighter, but like as far as the combat league goes, he can become a star just for his fight style. You know what I mean? But even in knowing that, I mean that motivates me to let me get around and let me get that. Let me stop that hype train, things like that. Didn't quite go like that when we actually faced off for our round. But like I said, he was on his second round. He had already went in once, and when you're at the very last fight of the evening, you're sitting for more than an hour. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it just he just jumped out there, jumped on me. But that's how he starts his pro fights the exact same way. And I mean, you saw like with Roman Villa was always a step behind him until round 9, round 10, and then he finally caught up with him and finally caught him. It takes time to get to where it got down like that. It was like hyperactive like that.
Facts. Are you looking forward to the rematch?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to all of the matchups. Like we're going to Philly. I'm fighting at 160 for the duration of the Combat League, and it's some names I'm looking forward to going up against. Quade Albright for sure. That's my man.
That's a good one.
I want that round, and I'm looking for him. We're going. He called himself C4. We're gonna turn him to a firecracker, man. We ain't shot, but I see you, and then when I see you later, then I see you down the road because I think we got each team about 2 or 3 times. 2 or 3, like 2 or 3 times. We got each team. So, I mean, my goal is to stay. My goal is mainly using this just to stay some type of active, man. Because the sitting around, I knew it was gonna. I figured it was kind of gonna take its toll even on the first week. Like we didn't get a guy that was like, man, let's get the ball back rolling. Rashidi Ellis, you don't get the ball back rolling with Rashidi Ellis. When you see him, you need to be all the way ready. But the politics of the fight game has kept me pretty inactive.